Well, there you go. So you don't have to worry. That sounds good to me.
I know.
But you were talking
peaceful.
about Secret Santa, eh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You just buy one present.
Well, we can buy multiple. It's just we have a budget of $50 and that's it. So
What do you mean multiple but a budget of 50? 50 per person or 50 overall?
50. Yeah, 52.
I can
Whoever
tell you have
like.
good
Okay,
taste.
so hang on, let me get this right. Per person, per person. Yeah. So if like you get a name, you pull out a name, and you spend $50 max on that
But
person.
you
So you
only
can get
buy
like
it for one person.
yeah,
Hmm. Well, it's a lot easier than having to buy for multiple people.
yeah. That was the whole problem that we had, and then the whole like problem of not being able to afford it. So my sister thought,
Yeah.
well, why don't we just do Secret Santa? We get a bunch of names in a hat, pull them out, buy one present. Well, one like one person, and yeah, that's all we buy for.
It is
So
getting pretty pricey these days, isn't it?
that's exactly the reason I think that's why we did it. It's because
Those are
things are just
selling
getting too
like
pricey. Because you get
hotcakes.
like, in order for me to like get for Christmas presents, I'd have to buy for my sister, brother, twin sister, my dad, my mum, like, and whoever else I feel like getting for, and it's just so much. Why can't we just? What if things were a bit cheaper? It'd be a lot better. But yeah,
Hmm.
just not in this case.
So do you know what presents have been bought for people in your family?
Uh, I know one. It's the same one as it's like kind of like pretty much the same as what we have. So
Oh yeah, what's that?
can't say.
What? What do you mean you can't say?
Because I'm not sure.
You
Actually, no, they
won't find
don't.
those
They probably
anywhere
won't.
else.
Well, they probably won't reach it. So or watch it. So um, what was I gonna say?
You're
Um,
being
it's
so
a voucher
secretive.
to a restaurant or like an all-you-can-eat kind of thing. So yeah.
For who?
Um, Britain. They're not married. So what would you call it?
Don't know. How long have they been together? Boyfriend, girlfriend? Wife and wife? I don't know. Who is it?
Do you really to know?
You're the one saying it.
My sister's partner.
So girlfriend.
Not that one.
Huh?
That
Not that
So
one.
it's a
material
boy.
is
Yeah.
imported.
Okay. Well, how long have they been together?
Fucking yonkers.
Okay, so like you just said, partner, or you could say it's husband if they've been together for a while.
They're not married.
Yeah, but they could still call each other husband and wife, even though, because legally, if they've been together for a couple of years, it's like being married anyway.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Um, where are cardigans? It was in cardigans, that's right. Um, right, sport
I can
punk.
see you wearing that.
For this type of weather, that's a bit too tight. Yeah, maybe not those, to be honest. Um, not those.
Those are so comfortable.
Auntie Shorty. I'll watch you.
None of those. Like, this year has gone, like, way too fast. Because, like, at the moment, like, I'm just not even realizing it. And it's like, Christmas Day is literally a few days
Those
away.
are selling fast.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
What the fuck, this new?
Hmm?
Oh. It's new, hats. Some new hats. For, like, festive. Like, you got two, bear hats, and then you got, a reindeer hat with a tree hat.
Oh, yeah.
As part of the what do you call
Hey.
it? Chop Shop DLC or update.
Take as long as you like.
Hey, junk energy. Oh. Um. Not design.
Did you find your size? um. Make sure you come back.
Don't know why, but anyway.
Check out the new Limeys. It's great.
This is it. Collect the vehicle you stole and proceed to Fort Zancudo.
Huh. Wow.
Well, what?
What they said in here is like, I survived 6 weeks in the desert with nothing but 12 rations and my own sweat. It was tough, yes, for them.
You're still on GTA?
Yep. I don't know if you know this or not, but it's snowing. As I can tell from the fucking difficult driving. It's snowing. Said it's gonna be in for a couple of weeks. I was like, ah, lovely. What's this? Oh, there we go. Ba, 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 ba. Oh.
Ange and I have had disagreements about Christmas.
Oh, good gosh.
It's just about what time Harrison is with who and all that sort of stuff.
look confident, and they won't give you a second glance. Remember, you have everything you need.
Alright, follow me.
Once you're through, access the elevator and head straight to the hangar. And if you see my old DI, break his fingers.
Jody, there is no time for finger breaking.
It was a joke. Ha ha. See?
So she
Pulling
messaged
the
me
DW is down there somewhere.
on
Just
Tuesday.
stay calm and keep
But
out of
how's
sight.
Harrison's?
We're
No, she
watching
didn't
through their
stop.
surveillance.
Man, that was
Now
pretty
might be a
average.
good time to make sure your armor is
I
buckled
just,
up, yes? I do not want to see you obliterated
I just
in
looked
ultra
at
high definition.
how she spelled Harrison in the message she sent. She spelled his name wrong. She said, "How was
Yeah.
Harrison's day been?" And she spelled it with a lowercase h. And where the A is meant to be, she put an S instead of an A by accident. It's like, take a bit more care to spell your son's name. Anyway, and she goes, "Been thinking we should set Christmas period in stone. Last we spoke about it, you agreed to me having Christmas Eve till midday Christmas Day. Is that still where you're at? Are you still wanting to go to your parents' place and to Pete's?" And I said, "It's been good. We went to the pools this morning. And stayed quite long and had a spa. I haven't agreed to anything, we were just talking about it." And she goes, "What's your thoughts?" I said, "I don't really know. My cousin's visiting right now, and so I'm not being rude, but I won't have my phone on me." And she goes, "Talk later / tomorrow then?" And I just didn't reply because it's like, fuck, like, if I try to
Oh,
talk to her about stuff, she'll ignore me, so I just really didn't want to deal with her at that point.
yeah.
Then she messaged the next evening, a whole 24 hours later, asked me if I thought about it. And I was like, "Hi, so you want to have Harrison from Christmas Eve until 12 p.m. Christmas Day?" And she goes, "Ideally, yes." And I said, "What are you thinking of doing on Christmas morning?" And she goes, "Pancakes at my sister's." And I said, "What time?" She goes, "Not sure." And I said, "Well, don't forget, Carols by Candlelight is this Sunday." And she goes, "Where?" And I said, "At Botanical Gardens, where it's there every year." And she goes, "If you want to attend that, then it makes no sense to bring Harrison back here afterwards for you to then pick him up less than 12 hours later." And I said to her, "I would have liked to have been there on Christmas morning when he opens up presents, as I'm an inclusive parent, hence why I include you in everything, because it brings him the most joy having us both present." And then I said, "Yeah, seeing as you don't really like to include yourself in certain events such as Carols by Candlelight, and you don't want to have the benefit of seeing our son happy, I suppose you're right, that it doesn't make sense that he stays with you tomorrow night, on Sunday night." So she then asked, "What time would you pick him up on Sunday?" But, oh, I must have
So
missed
I'm
that
sorry.
message recently. Yeah. So last night she goes, "What time can I pick Harrison up on Tuesday?" And I said, "Late afternoon." Sorry. I replied to her Sunday message, "What time should I pick him up on Sunday?" And I said, "Late afternoon, so you don't miss out on spending time with him, because I presume you're not going to come with us. And on Tuesday, which is Christmas Eve," and I said, "Oh, later on Tuesday at this point, because I really want to drive Harrison around Christmas lights. But the weather isn't really helping at the moment. So for now, can we play it by ear, please? Also, might need to adjust your seeing Harrison next Saturday, which is, Saturday after Christmas, because probably won't be coming back from Taupo till then, if we go. But you're still getting Christmas Eve and Christmas morning to make up for it."
You're gonna have to hack your way through their security.
And where you cannot hack, shoot!
Sorry, go on.
Whatever it takes to find
And
that
she
scarab.
goes, I'm assuming 6 PM you'll want to pick him up on Sunday?
Guess so.
And I said no, 5 PM. Because the Carols by Candlelight concert starts at 7 PM. But I have to drive out to Flaxmere, which is like a 20-minute drive from here. Then I've got to drive back, plus the extra travel because it's not to my house. It's like another like 15 minutes away from me. Then I've got to find a park. Then we've got to walk to the concert. So you can imagine if I pick them up at 6 PM and it starts at 7, that's a lot of driving around and walking and finding a park. If you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that 6 PM would not work. And she goes, after Christmas lights is pretty late. Last year you were annoyed when we went on Christmas Eve because there wasn't as much hustle and bustle. It also rained. And I said, well then she said, it will be close to 11 PM by the time you get here if you go looking at Christmas lights on Christmas Eve. I was thinking that I could have them from 2 PM. And then she goes, and you still haven't asked if you can take Harrison out of the region. And I'm saying I'm making up for time you lose on Christmas Day doesn't show flexibility on special days. I shouldn't be making up time to spend Christmas Day with Harrison. So she's completely got the wrong idea of what I'm trying to say. So I said, are you really being this petty right now? How about you think of Harrison for a change instead of yourself? She goes, I am. Harrison should spend equal time with both his maternal and paternal side of his family. And she goes, I haven't asked you to make up for time for having them on special occasions. And I was just getting annoyed at this point, so I said, no you're not. Other mothers I've spoken to always tell me how you make absolutely everything about you instead of Harrison. And you don't see that because you're not self-aware. But other mothers have been shocked about how you go about things. They can't believe how ungrateful you are. I'm seeing that now. So I said, so I'm a bit frustrated with how she's been at this point. So I said, okay, fine, I'll keep him Christmas Eve then, since you seem unhappy about having him. And I said, no, I wasn't annoyed last year when we went out on Christmas Eve and it was raining. All I said was that it was a shame Harrison missed out on seeing Santa because he kept putting it off, procrastinating. So last year, when we were a couple, I wanted to take Harrison to see the Christmas lights, and I was asking him for like 1 or 2 weeks if we could do it. And by the time that she actually like said, okay, let's do it tonight, to the place that usually has Santa, and it's this guy that's at his house and he has a setup that you can actually go see him dressed up as Santa. And we got there, and he wasn't there, and he came out and said, oh yeah, sorry, we don't do that this night, you know, it's a bit late, so I stopped being Santa a couple of days ago. So I was just a little bit disappointed about that, because I asked for 2 weeks, can we go do it, and they just kept putting it off until Christmas Eve, and it was just too late. So I wasn't that annoyed. I didn't care that we went out in the rain. I find going out in the rain interesting. It's the surprise and occasion, it's just interesting, but it was just like, oh, well, stink, you know. But it's not even about last year anyway, so I don't even know why she brought that up. And I said, you want Christmas Eve and Christmas morning, but also a lot earlier on Christmas Eve. And I tried to tell her that Christmas Eve and Christmas morning are two of the best times to spend with your kid, because Christmas Eve is the excitement, and then Christmas morning, waking up with your kid on Christmas morning is one of the best parts of Christmas. So I've said that she can have that. And she's sort of making out that Harrison should spend equal time with both my side of the family and her side of the family. Well, here's the thing. She'll get Harrison Christmas Eve, so she'll have like the evening with him. Then he'll fall asleep with her, so she'll like put him in bed all that night. Then she'll wake up with him, and then she'll have him until lunchtime. Then if I go to my parents, I've got to drive for like 2.5 hours till I get there. So it won't be till like 2:30 PM till we actually get to my parents' place, and that's where my Christmas starts at 2:30 PM with Harrison. So she's had him from Christmas Eve all the way to midday, and my Christmas day with him doesn't start till 2:30 PM. So I don't have a Christmas breakfast with anyone. I don't have Christmas lunch with anyone, so I'm missing out on all that. And having to drive with Harrison to go to my parents' place. And she's all like, oh, you know, you should spend equal time with both families. Well, do the maths, lady. He's actually spending more time with you and your family if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because 2:30 PM, and by the time he goes to bed... Anyway.
Pavel's right. That scarab is equipped with a DEW of its own. Emits a kinetic pulse. Should keep the military off your ass.
She goes, I'm trying to organise something that's fair and sensible. I pick up at 11 PM on Christmas Eve is late, so then get him to at 5 PM the next day would be difficult. I never actually told her that I'd drop him off at 11 PM. She's making it, like, I never even said that. So she's jumping to conclusions, which is annoying. But to be fair, if I wasn't pissed off with her, I probably could have explained it better. But I was just annoyed at her.
Understandable.
So I was like, don't worry about it, you're making this about you. Should have phoned. She goes, how? I said, if you don't know how you make things about you all the time, then you'll never know. She goes, what's your proposal then? You pick him up at 5 PM on Sunday, then I see him at some point on Wednesday morning, then I don't see him again until the evening on the 3rd. And I said, you're the one getting upset about the plans I've been through with all over. There's no pleasing you. We did this with Harrison's birthday, we did this with Phoenix's birthday, we did this with Mark and Ruthie. You make huge dramas over things rather than try to get along. Why are you addicted to drama? Why is it hard for you to be nice? And I said, FYI, I wasn't going to go away, I had no plans to. I only started considering it once you asked Daniel, who's my niece's partner, to come threaten me in front of our son. I don't know if you remember, but I asked Ange to, you know, stay away from my family, you know? If we're broken up, I need you to stay away from my family so I can move on. And she's like, no. Yeah. And I'm like, well, if you don't want to be with me, don't come near my family. Give me space so I can move on and get over you. Yeah. And she's like, nah, I don't want to. So,
Yes.
so she's been spending time with my niece. He told me that if I upset Ange, that she's asked him, my niece's partner, that if I ever do anything to upset her, whether he'd stand up to me for her. I think that's true. I think that's bullshit. So I said, you know, I wasn't actually going to go away for Christmas, but when you told my niece's partner that you wanted him to confront me over things, that's what about, you know, I don't want to go anywhere near my niece and her partner anymore. So, said to her, I still don't know how you got to the conclusion that you got to. I said that you wanted Harrison on Christmas Eve when he'd usually be with me. I thought I was doing something that pleased you, so that he would be with you on Christmas Eve when it's actually my day to have him. So Christmas Day we meant to split up because it's a special occasion. Christmas Eve is just a relatively normal day, and he's meant to be with me, but I'm saying, yeah, okay, you can have him. So I thought I was doing her a favour, but she's getting moody anyway. And I said, I never said anything about making time off on Christmas Day, but Christmas morning is very special, waking up with your son. So you're getting a very special occasion here. I said, I've also notified you of my plans that I might be going out of town with Harrison. So you saying that I haven't asked is silly. So what she's trying to say, bro, you get that. So for about a month now, I've let her know that I might be going to Taupo for Christmas, which is 2.5 hours away, to stay with my parents, right?
Yep.
So she's known that I've been considering going away. We've talked about it. I've made it clear that we might be going away. And even though we've talked about it for last month, she's saying you haven't even asked for it. And it's like, oh, we've been talking about it this whole time. So even though you've been talking about it, she wants me to officially ask her, can I go away with her? Even though we've been talking about it for a month. And she thinks it's a legal requirement, which I don't actually think it is. So I asked her, please show me where it's a legal requirement. And I said, you're always resorting back to legal stuff instead of just being considerate. I said, you know you can just say entertaining kindness instead of being robotic. And I said, no, it was never my proposal to have him after the weekend. And I said, I've always tried to be kind and reasonable with you, even on your birthday when you didn't even ask to see Harrison. I tried to surprise you and I turned up at your house with him as a surprise with a present and cake for you. So even though she didn't even ask to see Harrison on her birthday, I turned up there with cake and a present for her. But she wasn't home. So it's not like I'm trying to keep him away from her, I'm actually trying to do nice things. And then I said, I've always been inclusive and encouraging in regards to you and him spending time together, so don't change the narrative to absolve you from guilt. And then I said, good night. So she goes, so what are the plans for Tuesday and Wednesday? And I said, we can discuss this at another time. Because at this point, I'm just getting a bit frustrated that she's sort of making me out to be a bit of a dickhead when I heard that she tried to be nice.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's discuss this another time. Because I'm realising, you know, if we carry this on, I'm just going to get pissed off and say something that I shouldn't. Do you know what I mean? And
You don't want to say anything that you're going to regret.
Exactly. And also my phone was dying too. And it was like 9:40 at night. She was probably getting ready for bed. So do you know what she said? And I said, discuss this another time. She goes, another time will most likely be from my lawyer to yours tomorrow morning with a proposal and a request for a response because it shouldn't take this long to organise. So there she goes threatening me with lawyers again. So half an hour later when my phone charged a bit, I replied saying, how pathetic. You're the reason it's taken this long because we were talking about this last week and then you stopped discussing it with me. You just ended the conversation. But go ahead, my lawyer's on leave. So discuss this like an adult instead of making threats and think of Harrison instead of yourself. So then I looked back between her and my conversation and I found the message. And the last time we talked about it for a couple of days ago, I said if you want Harrison on Christmas Eve, there would be him being returned before lunch. Especially considering you don't even like Christmas. This will be the last Christmas that he'll have at my parents' house. We go, and his grandmother will be there, and that'll be the first Christmas that he'll have with her. And she's like 96, so, you know. So that was the last time we spoke about Christmas together until this week.
Yeah.
And that was December the 5th. So she hasn't brought it up again at all until this week. And she's
telling you to hurry up.
Exactly, bro. Like, it's all on her timeline, eh, bro? Exactly. Shouldn't take this long to organise. No, you're right, it shouldn't take that long to organise, but you bailed on the conversation. So I said to her, you only just brought it up again 5 days later, you do this every single time. So yes, it shouldn't take this long. But you stretch things out, go around in circles. I said, when you calm down and want to talk like adults, not just my words, I'll be more than happy to talk to you. But you trying to discuss this at 9:30 p.m. is extremely silly. And then I said, also, I said to discuss this at another time as it was getting late and time was about to go. I was on charge.
Yeah.
And I said, you should be able to organise this stuff with me. It's your job to organise things with the other parents, not deliberately twist words. As I never said anything about having Harrison out till 11 p.m. on Christmas Eve. So, because I didn't want to have to deal with any lawyers anymore, later on that night, when I knew she was already asleep in bed, I wrote a timetable for her. So I put, bullet point, 5 p.m. I'll pick Harrison up from your house on Sunday. 7 p.m. On Christmas Eve was when I was thinking I could pick up Harrison, not 11 p.m. like you presumed, so I can have some time playing with his cousins and seeing my godfather. 12 p.m. Christmas Day, you return to me so we can go to Taupo. And then, as I tried to say earlier, it will make the trip a bit rushed if we have to make sure we are back by 10 a.m. Saturday. So this is why I thought you having Harrison on Christmas Eve may help make up for us not returning by 10 a.m. Saturday. As Christmas Eve and Christmas morning are the most treasured times to spend with your child, and I was trying to work with you in having the joy of both of those. I said it'll most likely be the last Christmas in Taupo with his grandmother, who Harrison has never had a Christmas with. So I said all that, And you know how she was all adamant, I'm going to talk to the lawyers, we're going to have to come to an agreement and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
I said all that, sent that like basically midnight last night. Guess what she said in return?
Wow.
Nothing. No reply at all.
Wow.
So she wanted me to help organise it with her. So I said all that. I organised it with her, and she hasn't said yes, no, maybe. She hasn't said anything at all. Just no response. So it's like, fuck. No, this is why I get frustrated about this shit, bro. Like, you say that I'm not organising it, but she leaves the conversation.
Yeah.
You think Pavel's okay since Fort Z? He keeps sending
When
me articles.
she could do
5 tips on avoiding
midday
abduction
and
aliens
whatever,
don't
she just
want
leaves
you
the
to know.
conversation. I don't know if that means she agrees, disagrees, or is thinking about it. Then 12 days later, she starts talking to me about it again. Oh, we never get anywhere. Probably because you started the conversation 12 days ago, and you've only said something again about it now. Fuck. But anyway, when she arrived today, I already had 2 water pistols filled up. So when she knocked on the door, I'm like, here you go, Harrison, go shoot your mum.
See you soon.
That was actually quite good. I had 2 water pistols filled up, and then they had a bit of a water fight. He ran over to his mum with the water pistol, and for some reason he spurred her, but then ended up giving it to her. I'm like, oh my god. So then he ran away from her. I'm like, here you go, here's another one, go get her. And then I went and grabbed another one. And then we had a good water fight for half an hour, which was really fun.
What, all three of you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome, then.
Well, last week we had a water fight too.
Oh.
But this one I was a bit more prepared for. But it was fun. Like, we fully drenched each other, eh? And we didn't care. It was good. But that's the thing, is I'm trying to make pickups fun and light-hearted, and just showing Harrison and Ange that we can actually have a bit of fun when we do pickups and drop-offs. Because we've got a court date coming up in front of a judge. And he's going to decide what's going to happen. But if she's going to say, no, we can't have pickups and drop-offs because they're all angry and all that, well, no, they're not. We've been having water fights every pickup and drop-off. So imagine if she tries to say that we can't have pickups and drop-offs because they're angry. I'll be like, no.
I threw out the caveat.
So I'm actually setting up a really good
37
situation
years
here, I
past
think.
its sell-by. I don't know how he's alive.
One, because this is how I want it to be. It should be fun. It should be happy. And if we're having a water fight, if we're having a water fight and we're all having fun and all happy about it, great. And I'm just trying to show Ange without telling her that we can actually have good times. That we don't have to be angry all the time and all that sort of shit. Did I ever read you my, No, I wouldn't have actually. I'll read you something, bro. This is what I said, This is what I said. This is what the judge will read about what I want for Harrison, okay?
Yeah.
I want you to, tell me what you think about what I said, from your view.
Okay.
I seek day-to-day care of Harrison, with Angela having most weekends. I obviously would like some weekend time to offer a variety of experience. Actually, hold on. I just remembered that I've actually got a better version of this, because the lawyer edited it a little bit. There we go. Alright, here it is here. I seek day-to-day care of Harrison, with Angela having most weekends. I want the current arrangements to be made final, with an added provision for telephone contact. I would like some weekend time to offer a variety of experiences and to provide opportunities for Harrison to see family and friends. And it would give me opportunity to swap weekends with Angela to make this happen, as I presume she wouldn't be as open to swapping a weekend for some weekday time. But I also know it's important that Harrison spends time with his mum, and I have to make sacrifices as a parent in that regard. So whilst I want weekend time too, I understand the court might not deem that fair. and at this point I understand that the court will make the final decision. I would encourage Angela to have contact on weekdays too. I'm happy with the current arrangement as it gives me weekend time. I have been Harrison's primary caregiver since he was an infant, essentially his whole life, providing consistent and loving care. As Harrison's primary caregiver, I've established a stable and consistent environment that provides a sense of security and predictability. This home has been Harrison's home since birth. I've lived here for 19 years. I believe that this stability is essential for Harrison's emotional and psychological development. He lives here with myself and my godfather, who has been living here a decade before Harrison was born. They have a very close relationship. Harrison is enrolled in Taradale Kindergarten. He has visited there multiple times with me and loves it. It is only a 10-minute walk from my house. This kindy was chosen by Angela and I together as we wanted consistency for him to follow on to Taradale Primary School in 2 years' time. I have a strong love and bond with Harrison, which is essential for his emotional and psychological well-being. I am committed to nurturing and strengthening this relationship. Harrison has never been out of my care for more than 3 days. I have been his constant throughout his life. I take him to various activities such as swimming, the bike track, playground, and visiting family and his best friends, one of which lives down the road and the others that live in Napier. I'm able to provide a safe, healthy, and nurturing environment that meets Harrison's physical and emotional needs. This includes providing a stable home, nutritious food, and lots of outings, regular medical checkups, haircuts, and opportunities for socialization and education and recreational activities. I've tried really hard to form a positive, productive, and communicative co-parenting relationship with Angela. I believe that the better we get along as co-parents, the better it is for Harrison. We've had disagreements in parenting styles, and that I have been very encouraging towards Angela, talking over the phone to Harrison, having video calls, or visiting Harrison, or myself taking Harrison to visit her, but she has regularly and consistently refused all of the above, going a week at a time without inquiring about Harrison. I believe a parent's role never ends, even when the child is not in our care. There have been multiple occasions where Angela has not put Harrison first and has left him when he's needed her. When he's not in my care, I've taken on board to check in and ask for a quick phone call with Harrison, so he's aware that even when he's not in my care, I'm still there for him. Angela's made this difficult and refused phone calls from me to Harrison, even though I feel I've been reasonable and have asked to do them when it suits her schedule with Harrison because I don't want to impose. I fear Angela has let her anger towards me get in the way of co-parenting effectively and peacefully. Counselling would have been beneficial to us. It saddens me that there hasn't been a mutual effort to strengthen the co-parenting relationship. It's been very inconsistent, depending on Angela's mood on the day, which is sometimes extremely pleasant and friendly, and sometimes cold and brash with no explanation. Whilst I've no doubt that Angela loves Harrison dearly, there have been too many instances that I can't ignore where Angela hasn't put Harrison first, and instances that if he was witness to, if he were a little older, could have upset him greatly.
Anything I can do?
I believe Harrison would be better off in my day-to-day care. I have no doubt that Angela loves Harrison, and she is a great mother in many aspects, but there are certain limitations that haven't been addressed. It's a shame that we've not had the chance to discuss things openly and honestly because the whole court process was never needed. It's only antagonized things more. We had a very flexible and open parental plan between us before this was brought to the courts. It still confuses me to this very day why Angela chose this path when it was much happier and friendlier and flexible before proceedings started. Proposed care arrangement. I propose to continue with the day-to-day care of Harrison. I believe this arrangement in Harrison's best interest and will provide him with the stability, consistency, and nurturing environment he needs to thrive, especially at his age. I'm in an extremely fortunate position where I'm able to care for Harrison and teach him and socialise him and take him to and from kindy while Angela has her full-time work
Doesn't she
commitments.
look pretty?
I've looked into different custody arrangements and care, and everything I've read said that at Harrison's age, stability is the most important, also no more than 3 days away from either parent. He's too young to spend 5 days away from either parent, and my values and well-being for Harrison don't align with that. I made it very clear to Angela that she's always welcome to see Harrison on a non-scheduled day, so she's not going too long without contact. Just because Angela chooses to go over a week with no contact or phone calls doesn't mean that's the parenting style that I want to adopt. I have a strong bond with Harrison, and it's very important for his well-being that stays
How
intact.
many cars you got in
I believe I
this
should have day-to-day care whilst Angela continues to have Harrison on weekends. We can have flexibility that Angela can visit or take Harrison out during the week, and occasionally I can do the same on weekends. The current arrangement that we have works quite well as it is. In conclusion, I believe that making the current interim parenting orders final is in Harrison's best interests. I would like a provision added to say that the parent who has Harrison in their care will place a call to the other parent at 5:30 PM each day so that Harrison may have a brief talk with that parent. I'm committed to providing a stable, loving, and nurturing environment that promotes Harrison's physical, emotional, and psychological well-being. I'm willing to work with Angela to ensure that Harrison's needs are met and that his best interests are protected. So that's what I wrote for the judge to read.
Yeah.
But do you see, I don't know if you picked it up, but do you see how I tried to make it about Harrison and I haven't tried to say anything bad about Angela?
I can do it.
Yeah, it's so like, it's just, as far as I can see, it's like, you're not trying to make it one sided, which is good. You're trying to like make it equal ground for both of them, saying you haven't tried to block her from seeing the kid, you've not tried like interfered with anything like that. But yeah, no, it's just that you're more focused on the well-being of the kid instead of just like you, because like you are concerned about like the co-parenting, but you're also more worried about the kid, and that's the main part of it is the kid.
Yeah, exactly. Like, where's a good point? Hold on.
Do you need a drink? Bubbles or something?
Yeah, so when I said I feel Angela has let her anger towards me get in the way of co-parenting effectively and peacefully, I think that's true. Because I feel like she's sort of been angry at me and let that cloud her judgment. And in this point, so I've no doubt that Angela loves Harrison dearly, there have been too many instances I can't ignore where Angela hasn't put Harrison first. Because even my godfather said today, he said, well, she doesn't even really like Christmas, why is she trying so hard to have him? And I said, I don't know. She goes, you know, she's the one that left. She's the one that left you guys. She's the one that left this house and left you and Harrison. So I don't know why she's getting upset when she's the one that caused all this.
No rush.
And I said, well, she says that she left me. She says she didn't leave Harrison. And he goes, no, she left Harrison because as soon as she leaves you and she's treating you like crap, that means she left him as well. But even, like I said this too, whilst I have no doubt that Angela loves Harrison dearly, I'll just note that part actually. I have no doubt that Angela loves Harrison and she's a great mother in many aspects. So I'm trying to point out that she is actually a good mum in many aspects, which is true. But when it comes to emotional needs, she doesn't really get it.
It's like when she comes to being a mother, she's fantastic. But when it's her emotional side or putting her emotions, and it's affecting everything.
Yeah,
and she's not realizing it.
No, she doesn't realize it because, for instance, one day a couple of weeks ago, we came back from the library with Harrison. We had a really good time, all three of us, for 5 hours. And then he's getting upset because she's about to go, and he didn't want her to go. He wanted to keep spending time all together. And she's like, oh, I'm just going to hop in the car, you know, there's no point me hanging around and it'll just make him more upset, I'm going to go. So she hops in the car and drives off. And I just thought, okay, whatever, that's what she does.
Without
so
even saying goodbye to the kid, of course it's going to affect him.
Yeah, exactly. So she leaves, and I'm like, okay, fair enough, she just didn't want to prolong it. She didn't want to prolong the goodbye, which would upset him. But, and I'm used to her being like that now. And then I told a couple of my cousins, who are also parents, female cousins, so mums, and they're like, what the and actually there was one male cousin who's a parent too, and they all said the same thing. They're like, what the fuck? So you're saying Harrison was crying and she just drove off? Yeah? And they're like, that's bullshit. I'm like, is it? And they're like, yeah. If her kid's crying, she should stay there and try to help him understand and explain and cheer him up before she goes. She shouldn't just leave. And I'm like, okay, fair point. And then one of the cousins said, why did she leave? Why didn't she try to sort it out? I said, well, it was the end of her parenting time. She thought she had to go. And I said, what was more important than being there for her son? And one of the cousins said, oh, so it's like a job to her that she clocks in at the time it says on the paperwork and she clocks out when that time's up. But so she thought her time's up, it's not her time to parent, so she left. And I'm like, fuck, I never thought about it like that. Because if the roles were reversed and he was crying because I was going, I wouldn't go. I'd try to help sort the situation out.
And just say, look, I'm just going to go away for like a few days. I'm not going to leave you. I'm just going to be I'm not going to be just around for the next few days. But I promise you, I will be back, and you'll be safe and sound. You'll be fine. If you need a bit of a comfort, just give me a call. I'll be there. I'll call up, say hello.
Exactly. Call me later. So you know what's happening, bro? And she doesn't get this, I don't think. He's used to me being there all the time, right? So he knows that if I'm not there, he knows he's going to see me soon anyway. So he understands. He's secure with me. He knows I'm never going to leave him, sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
That I'm always there. But with her, he doesn't know when she's going to show up or not. He doesn't know when she's going to disappear or not. And when he goes, I want to see Mummy. Sorry, Mum. Mummy's busy. Sorry, Mummy's at work. Sorry, Mummy's... Like, she's not busy. She's at home. But she doesn't really want to take phone calls. She's not trying to call him.
That's the same. That's the thing I was just thinking about. Like, maybe she just, like... Because the thing is, when you become a parent, it ain't some job. It ain't some, like, time-consuming thing. You're a parent. If a kid needs you, want to spend time with you, let them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just you can't just treat it as a job.
Yeah.
When they're young, it's a life thing. Maybe when they're older and like when they wanted to like, you know, go out and live their lives and like live their own, like have their own place in the world, and you just be there for when you need them. That's fine. But it's just you can't just do that at a young age. You need to have consistency. Like, I mean, I can't really say much. I haven't been a parent. I haven't had the opportunity to be one. I mean, I could have one, but we won't go down that path. Foley had an opportunity to be one, but then she decided to run away and hide like a wee little bitch or a coward. My viewers were like, what the fuck are you on about? But yeah, no, just, yeah, you need to, like, if the kid wants to say hello, you need to be there. It's like, it's you just can't get out of it. Like, even if you do have work, I understand if you have work, like if you're an appointment to go to, but just being at home and ignoring the kid, that's horrible. That's fucking horrible.
You know what I think it is, bro? Is I think she loves him.
I
just don't think she's got the emotional capacity. Like, I think she's blocking. Well, look at what happened on Film Street tonight. You know how Nicole blocked out what she did? That she blocks it out because she can't deal with it? I think that's what Ange does. I think she blocks it out. That when she's not with him, she blocks it out and doesn't want to feel anything about him.
Yeah.
Because it's easier. When he's in her care, I think she's a good mum. But that's the whole thing. Just because he's not in your care doesn't mean the parenting should stop.
Exactly.
It needs to carry on. So the phone calls and everything should still happen. So, but I've also learned that I can't force her to do anything. It's got to be her choice whether she does the phone calls and stuff. You can't tell someone to do stuff. I'm the type of person, and you know this about me, that that I try to help people, but people only want to be helped when they're ready. And if you try to force someone to be helped, it just pisses them off, really. So
it does.
I don't want to. I can't force her. She needs to figure it out in her own time. But yeah, there's no doubt that she loves him. But it's just like, I just don't think she's really got the emotional capacity right now, and I still think that her anger towards me clouds her judgment. So, and also she's really exaggerated and come up with a lot of lies and stuff that
technology and budget permitting.
She never needed to go down this path. So it's going to be interesting, bro, because what I submitted there, the judge will read, and that's called an affidavit. And in the beginning of the year, when she submitted her first affidavit, it was nasty, and 90% of it wasn't true. And most of everything in the affidavit had nothing to do with Harrison. It was more so an attack on me. So she made it so much about me instead of Harrison. So it's going to be interesting to see whether she's actually figured it out that it should be about Harrison and not about me. And that's why mine is more focused on Harrison and what I can offer him, rather than saying, oh, Angie's a bad parent, she can't do this, she can't do that. And that's why I made an effort to actually say, well, actually, she's actually a good, loving mum, but there is just a little limitation there, and we didn't need to go through court. Things were like, you think about last year, bro. Last year we weren't going through court, and she was able to see him on the weekends when she wanted. She was able to come over after work whenever she wanted. She was seeing him more last year, and as you and Nick said, do you remember you and Nick and me used to join together? And you guys would be like, isn't it meant to be Angie's weekend with Harrison? I'm like, yeah. And then you're like, well, how come you've got him then? Because you said that to me a few times last year, eh? Why have you got him? I thought it was Angie's turn with him.
It's like, when it's her time to look after the kid, it's like sometimes she's like, oh yeah, I'll look after him. And then sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to look after him. It's like, it's, as if, I think you said this, it only works when it's the way she wants to, the way, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
On her time.
Yeah, on her time, exactly. She's better with it now.
Yeah.
But she hasn't really done that this year. She's better with it now. But last year, it was hard to know. Like last year was a complete different story. There was so many times when she was meant to have him that she didn't. And she's just lucky that I was extremely flexible and I love spending time with him, because a lot of other parents are like, oh, thank fuck someone else is my kid for the weekend so I can relax. Whereas I'm like, yeah, I'll take him. And a lot of fathers, you know, it's not sexist because it's saying it about men, and I am men. A lot of fathers are that way, that they're like, nah, I've got a life, it's the weekend, I want to go out with this lady. You're meant to have him for the weekend, so you keep him. You know, a lot of fathers will be difficult like that. Whereas,
woman can be as well.
Oh yeah, for sure, they can be, yeah. But usually the woman is the more nurturing one.
Yeah.
Just, in this situation, it's the reverse between Ange and me, from yeah, no, well, I'm glad that you and Nick used to join with me on weekends that I'd have Harrison as well, so you guys were actually like, hang on, is Harrison there? That you guys actually witnessed the fact that...
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I said a couple of times, like, what the fuck, say Harrison? You're like, yeah, that's Harrison. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, isn't he supposed to be with Ange?
Yeah. And it's funny, and you'd be like hearing nursery rhymes and stuff in the background. Like, no, I just like this song.
Oh, yeah.
He's not here, it's just my jam.
Here for the magic touch?
Dickory, dickory, dock. Yeah, man. But anyway, it'll just be interesting to see whether she's going to do what she did in the beginning of the year, where she just basically trashed me, or whether she's going to make it about Harrison this time.
So she's trying to put it in her favour. Oh, what are you saying?
Yeah. Well, it'll just be interesting to see whether she's going to make it about Harrison or make it angry about me. Which way is she going to go? Because she might be surprised at what I've said in that I haven't like brought anything up negative about her. She might actually think, oh. And if she said negative stuff about me, and that's what I've said about her, she might be like, oh, fuck.
Hey.
I'm just saying that if she says negative stuff about me and what she writes to the judge, and then she reads my statement there, and she's like, oh shit, Brad didn't say anything bad about me. Oh fuck. She'll probably think, oh, he's got no dirt on me. Well, guess what? It's not about having dirt on the other parent. It's actually about looking out for your kid, and the parents should be working to try to get along, not try to give dish dirt on each other.
Exactly. Like, if I got like.
Need me to bring you a ride?
If I did get the opportunity to be a parent, like an actual parent, sort of like if it was my kid, I would, you know, as much as I hate her and how much I hate what she did, I would try and look out for the kid more. Like, I'd be more interested in the kid.
You got to put your differences aside, bro. That's the thing. I've always thought that
I'll bring it by.
I'd like a co-parenting relationship where we can get along and help each other. And some people say, oh, that's weird, you shouldn't confuse the kids. And I'm like, well, as soon as you're separated from the other parent, it's going to confuse and fuck up the kid anyway. No matter what, it's going to confuse and fuck up the kid as soon as you're separated.
Yeah, that's why there needs to be consistency. You need to work together, no matter if, like, I might give it, like, you know what, I'll do the usual shit that I usually do. I'll give her a shit, you know, just make a joke, you know, joke around with her and shit like that. But at the end of the day, I'll try and make things work. Even if it's the most hardest thing to do, I'll still try and make things work to, you know, for the kid. That's the main part of it. Even if you are separated, you're there for the kid. Damn, that sounds good.
Yep. Yeah, that's all that matters. And I'm the type of person that if I'm taking Harrison out, I'll always ask her if she wants to come along. Just because we'll,
like, if she's not doing busy, like, if she's just wanting to hang out for, with, not just with you, but also with her kid as well. Like, it's, you know, even if it's not her time.
yeah. Just because I know he'll love it.
Yeah.
She won't do the same to me, but that's her choice. But
Fair
I'll
enough.
still
Yeah.
always ask.
I don't know. Right, hang on a sec. Right. That's it for the movie tonight. I've got to hop off anyway. So I'll catch you guys another time. And hopefully it'll become a regular thing instead of, you know, like, in and out, fucking up, left, right. It'll just be a constant thing on Friday, live streaming. That's what my goal is. That's what I tend to do. So, arigato, sayonara, peace, I'm out.